all your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
ലുലു മണി സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for
IMAC Bahrain Media City in association with Pravasi Legal Cell presents Expatriates and Legal Issues Session 2. Dear all, good evening to you. Hearty welcome to the program. I am Vinod Narayanan, Master of Ceremonies of this session. Let me introduce my co-MC, the young, charming Miss Spandana. Hi Spandana.
Thank you, Vinod. Warm welcome to our Chief Guest, His Excellency, and to one and all present here for this beautiful session tonight. आप लोगों का स्वागत है. Pravasi Legal Cell Bahrain chapter is for every Indian from any region and any language. Especially there is no language barrier, and so you may forward your legal issues and questions to the WhatsApp number 38391000. आपको जो भी इश्यूज़ है, लीगल इश्यूज़ है, आपको जो भी पूछना है, आप व्हाट्सएप नंबर कर सकते हैं. कॉल नहीं कर सकते हैं, लेकिन व्हाट्सएप मैसेज भेज सकते हैं आप 38391000. మీకు ఎటువంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నా కానీ, సిపిఆర్ కానీ, వీసా కానీ, లేకపోతే ఇమిగ్రేషన్ కానీ, లేకపోతే ఎటువంటి లీగల్ ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నా కానీ, ఇంటికి వెళ్ళాలన్నా కానీ, ఏమన్నా తెలియాలంటే ప్లీజ్ దయచేసి వాట్సాప్ చేయండి ఈ నంబర్కి 38391000. வாட்ஸ்அப் மெசேஜ் மாத்திரமே செய்யగలరు, கால் செய்யలేరు. உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது லீகல் இஷ்யூஸ் இல்லை லீகல் கொஷின்ஸ் ஏதாவது தெரிஞ்சுக்கணுன்னா நம்மளுக்கு அட்வொகேட் இங்கே இருக்கார். நீங்கள் வந்து மெசேஜ் பண்ணலாம், கால் பண்ண முடியாது. இந்த வாட்ஸ்அப் நம்பர் மெசேஜ் வந்து 38391000. ப்ளீஸ் மெசேஜ். தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you, Spandana. Ladies and gentlemen, here language is not a barrier. Whatsoever your doubt is, you can send it in any language you prefer. Kindly send your queries or doubts to the WhatsApp numbers as she has mentioned. I repeat, 38391000 or 39461746. You can also send your doubts to Pravasi Legal Cell and BMC News Live Facebook page too, or in the comment box, or in the Zoom session. Okay? Now, let me welcome, dear brothers and sisters. We are much blessed and delighted to have the dignified presence of the Honorable Ambassador of India to the Kingdom of Bahrain, His Excellency Sri Piyush Srivastava. On behalf of all of you who gathered up over here, the communities of India, Bangladesh, Philippines, Kenya, Sri Lanka, and Nepal, I proudly and wholeheartedly welcome His Excellency as the chief guest of this program. Hearty welcome, sir. All of you, please put your hands together for our His Excellency. Dear all, Along with him, we have the wonderful presence of the Second Secretary of the Embassy of India, Sri Ravi Shankar Shukla. Hearty welcome to you, sir. Dears, let me welcome our honorable guests of this interactive session, Expatriates and Legal Issues Session 2, Mr. Jos Abraham, MA LLM, Advocate on Record, Supreme Court of India. He is present online. Hearty welcome, sir. And we have offline over here, Advocate Madhavan Kallath, Legal Advisor, Kallath and DBI WLL. He is present here on floor. Sir, hearty welcome. Now here on floor at BMC we have Mr. Sudhir Tirunilath, the backbone of this program, the country head of Pravasi Legal Cell. Hearty welcome, Mr. Sudhir. And we have the Chief Bahrain Coordinator of Pravasi Legal Cell, Mr. Amal Dev also. Let me welcome him. Dear friends, this interactive session is reaching to you all through BMC Global Live Facebook, YouTube channels, along with the Facebook page of Pravasi Legal Cell. As you all well aware that many expatriates are held up here due to legal issues like travel ban, signing agreements without knowing the clauses mentioned, etc. Dear friends, before you engage yourselves in any of these matters, we request kindly contact the Indian Embassy of Pravasi or Pravasi Legal Cell for further assistance, guidance and clarifications. Pravasi Legal Cell had already signed contracts with 4 leading legal firms in Bahrain and GCC countries to deal with such kind of issues. PLC already intervened effectively to reimburse the air tickets of expatriate community during the season of pandemic. They have done many matters related to the air bubble arrangements with the Indian government. You know, the Pravasi Legal Cell has interfered and given preferences to vaccination campaign for expatriates in India. Because of the interference of Pravasi Legal Cell, these matters happened well. So we do have to give a good loud round of applause for the community efforts, works done by Pravasi Legal Cell. Ladies and gentlemen, now for the inaugural ceremony, I would like to welcome His Excellency, Shri Piyush Srivastava. Sir, please, hearty welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Vinod. Mr. Jos Abraham, Advocate, Supreme Court of India and Global President of Pravasi Legal Cell. Mr. Sudhir Tirulinath, Country Head, Bahrain of Pravasi Legal Cell. Advocate Madhavan Kallath. Dear panelists, all the members of Indian community who have joined online today for this very important session. Let me start it by complimenting Pravasi Legal Cell and Bahrain Media City to come together for this very important webinar and awareness campaign with titled Expatriates and Legal Issues. Let me begin by saying a few words about our vibrant Indian community in Bahrain. As we all know, our community is present in virtually all sectors in Bahrain. They contribute to the economic development of the kingdom and also has created a substantial visible imprint on the social milieu of Bahrain. There is hardly any Bahraini establishment business organization which does not have a senior middle level employee playing an important role in these organizations. We also have a large community of workers and laborers from the community. And Bahrain has been a very generous host. The government, the leadership has ensured the welfare of the expat community, of which Indian community plays the major part. They provide very good working conditions, a good family life, social conditions. And by and large, we have found Indian community living in Bahrain much better off compared to many other countries. However, we do receive some kind of complaints which are very natural in case of any employment. A lot of complaints come relating to labor disputes, as Mr. Vinod said that there are also complaints relating to legal issues, travel ban, which most of the cases we experience that occur due to people signing the agreement or the paper without even knowing what is written. And there are also a lot of other kinds of disputes like salary, working conditions. I must say that most of the cases, uh, embassy with great and prompt support from all Indian association. And in this regard, I would particularly like to mention Pravasi Legal Cell. They play a very important role in bringing up such issues to the embassy and also make a lot of efforts on their part to resolve the problems. And I am very happy to say that we have been able to resolve a number of such issues to the satisfaction of both our working class as well as the employers. Uh, and I must place on record our sincere thanks and appreciation for the local government authority who promptly provide all assistance and cooperation in expeditiously resolving the issues. It is in this context I feel that such awareness campaign and webinar as this one are very important, because as they say, prevention is better than cure. So if people are aware and they know the rules and regulations in Bahrain, and when while they are traveling, what are the uh, contract agreements they are likely to get, and all other such kind of legal issues, and what they are supposed to do and what not. This is a very important part. If people are aware of the things which they are not supposed to do, I think many of these problems will not arise in the first place. So I think this is a very, very important webinar, and I think everyone here will benefit from this. I would just like to add a couple of points that which I would request Pravasi Legal Cell also, as well as other Indian organizations, to inform the community about that whenever you come for employment to Bahrain or for any other country, the government of India has already established a system of e-migrate. So my suggestion would be that as far as possible, people should come for employment through e-migrate portal, because that has been done with great due diligence. Whatever companies, agents are listed in that portal, we have verified their credentials. And if there is a problem, then we also know how and where to approach. That's number one. Second is also the government of India has instituted the pre-departure orientation training programs, which is done by a number of protector of immigrants offices which are in the states. I think they are in most of the states, so people can take advantage of that. Plus, there are other schemes also which we keep telling from time to time, like Global Pravasi Rista Portal, Pravasi Bharti Insurance Scheme. And the awareness of these schemes are very, very important. So I won't take much of your time. I think people are there with a set of questions, and we have a very eminent panel of experts from the legal point of view. So I wish the webinar all the best and encourage all the participants to not only seek clarifications, responses to their own queries, but also spread awareness among their friends, because the best way of making people aware is through by the word of mouth, talking to the people, so that we all are in a position to resolve these problems in a much more effective manner. Thank you so much. I wish the webinar all success.
Thanks a lot, His Excellency Shri Piyush Srivastava. the Honorable Ambassador of India to the Kingdom of Bahrain. Sir, your kind support and your speech really is a very helpful matter for each and every member of our community to understand the seriousness of these issues and to do things in a clear-cut manner. Thanks a lot, sir, for your wonderful presence. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, now for the felicitation, let me welcome the Honorable Chairman of IMAC Bahrain Media City, Mr. Francis Kaidarat, who has provided chances to the expatriate community to exhibit their talents through the BMC Global Media Live programs during the season of this pandemic especially. He is a well-known social activist and he has given much contributions to the socio-cultural charity fields of Bahrain. Dear sir, hearty welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. His Excellency, today's chief guest, the Indian Ambassador to the Kingdom of Bahrain, Sri Piyush Srivastava, Second Secretary, Sri Ravi Shankar Shukla, and other embassy officials. Today's attraction, the Supreme Court Advocate on record, Advocate Jose Abraham, the leader of PLC World, Advocate Madhavan Kallat, in our stage, the country head of PLC, Mr. Sudhir Thiru, leaders of various socio-cultural organizations, ladies and gentlemen, a good evening to you all. First of all, I would like to appreciate Pravasi Legal Cell country head, Mr. Sudhir Thiru and his team, PLC Bahrain chapter, for coming up with such a noble cause, a panel live discussion on the topic expatriates and their legal issues. Yes, poor and needy people, the downtrodden people, the labor class people are many affected without knowing the proper way, proper channels to receive justice in their companies, in their working places. Regardless of any language, any caste or creed, PLC came forward for such a wonderful panel live discussion, which will be fruitful for the Indian community in Bahrain. I am proud to say that I am also an executive member of PLC. Thank you very much for Pravasi Legal Cell. And in such a wonderful event, the support of embassy, His Excellency himself came in as a chief guest. We are very much happy, sir, for attending this such an event, for inaugurating this function. I would like to appreciate all embassy officials, and yes, Advocate Jose Abraham is joining with us from Delhi, and Advocate Madhavan Kallat is on our stage. Definitely, this moment, this session 2, Pravasi legal issues and expatriates, definitely it will helpful for the Indian community in Bahrain. Finally, I would like to express on behalf of IMAC Bahrain Media City, IMAC Cochin Kalabhavan, IMAC Academy, our love and affection to all the leaders of PLC, especially the chief guest, His Excellency Piyush Srivastava and embassy officials, for giving us a chance to take up this noble cause event. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All the best wishes for all the participants and our advocates on record. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Francis Kaidarat. Dear all, this interactive session is reaching to you all through BMC Global Live Facebook, YouTube channels, along with the Facebook page of PLC, Pravasi Legal Cell. Dears, before we are not taking much time, we are moving over to the interactive segment, but I just would like to tell a few words about Pravasi Legal Cell, because there are some new members who have joined also over there in the Zoom session for them. Pravasi Legal Cell is a registered non-governmental organization working to empower people with the power of law. It is a group of retired judges, advocates, social activists, journalists, and inspired citizens of India. Honorable Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, former Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Kurian Joseph, former Judge of the Supreme Court of India, and Honorable Justice C.S. Rajan, former Judge of Kerala High Court, are the patrons of Pravasi Legal Cell. Dear all, once again, I just would like to congratulate each and every one of you because you are getting a chance to clarify your doubts through our interactive session. Let's start off the session with all of your permission. Before anything else? Okay. Advocate Joseph, sir. He's there to speak. Now let me welcome, before we move ahead to the interactive session, let me welcome Advocate Joseph, sir, to have a few words to address this audience. Sir, please.
Chief guest of the day, His Excellency Piyush Srivastava, Ambassador of India to the Kingdom of Bahrain, Honorable Second Secretary Devishankar Shukla sir, all the office bearers of Pravasi Legal Cell, Bahrain chapter, and partner of this event, Bahrain Media City headed by Mr. Francis Kaidarat. Dear friends, first of all, let me congratulate the entire team of PLC Bahrain headed by its efficient country head, Mr. Sudhir Tirunilath, for doing an amazing job in Kingdom of Bahrain. Since its formation, PLC Bahrain has done wonderful job by providing help in various forms to our fellow people. PLC Bahrain could do this only due to the excellent support of our Indian Embassy in Bahrain. His Excellency Piyush Srivastava sir, we are all grateful to you for the wonderful support to our brethren people. On behalf of all, let me extend our heartfelt thanks to the entire embassy team for doing this excellent cooperation. As the global president, I used to interact with our people across the globe on a daily basis. But the cooperation and support which we are getting from the Indian Embassy in Bahrain is really truly amazing. Prime objective of Pravasi Legal Cell is to provide legal aid and also empower common people on the legal front. Today, we are before the people and giving an opportunity to clarify their doubts and concerns. So let me request everybody to make use of this opportunity. We have an eminent lawyer, experienced lawyer, Mr. Madhavan Kallath, who is thoroughly or is an authority as far as Bahrain laws are concerned. So I request one and all to make use of this opportunity. Thank you, friend.
Thank you, dear Advocate Jose Abraham, for your lovely words and the kind support. Dear all, here language is not a barrier. Whatsoever your doubt is, you can send it in any language you prefer. Kindly send your queries or doubts to the WhatsApp numbers 38391000 or 39461746. പ്രിയമുള്ളവരെ, നിങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാ സംശയങ്ങളും, ഈ പ്രവാസ ലോകത്ത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിയമപരമായുള്ള എല്ലാ സംശയങ്ങളും ഇപ്പറഞ്ഞ വാട്സപ്പ് നമ്പറുകളിലേക്ക് അയക്കാൻ അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചെയ്യാവുന്നത് പ്രവാസി ലീഗൽ സെല്ലിൻ്റെയോ ബഹ്റൈൻ മീഡിയ സിറ്റി ന്യൂസ് ലൈവിൻ്റെ ഫേസ്ബുക്ക് പേജ്, അതിലെ കമൻറ്റ് ബോക്സിലോ സൂമിലോ സംശയങ്ങൾ അയക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. ഒരു പ്രധാന ചോദ്യവുമായിട്ടാണ് നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ തുടങ്ങുന്നത്. ഇത് ജനറലി എല്ലാവർക്കും ഉള്ള ഒരു ഡൗട്ടാണ്. ദിസ് എ കോമൺ ഡൗട്ട് ഓൾ ഓഫ് us have. Okay, with that doubt, I am just starting off this program. Okay, the interactive session begins. How to give a resignation, and what is contract period an employee needs to work with the employer as per new rule. This is a common question many of our friends have. So with this common question, I just would like to start off. Our advocates will answer. Sri Madhavan Kallath sir is here on the floor. Sir, your turn, please.
That's a very common question. I would like to start with the first part. You said how to give a resignation. The best way to give a resignation is to give it by registered post with an acknowledgement card. Depends on what is the purpose of resignation. If the resignation is for the purpose of leaving the job and leaving the country, then you can give 1 month's notice and leave the job. But if it is for changing the job locally, then it is necessary that you have to follow the notice period given in the contract. not exceeding 3 months. And how long you have to continue in the contract? Minimum for changing the job is 1 year. There is a proposal for increasing that period to 2 years. That has not yet become law. So for the time being, it is 1 year minimum before you want to resign for changing the job.
Thank you, Madhavan sir. Now here we have a question from one of the members, Mr. Ramesh Kumar from Kerala, India. He's just asking, sir, I have worked last 18 years in a private aviation company in Bahrain. But at the end, I did not get my end of service benefits at all. Because I have resigned and filed a legal case. The Miss Bushra is dealing my case. My company Aventure Air Center is no more. We had a private aviation terminal at airport dealing with the charter business and ground handling. Many questions he has. What about the indemnity? Because he's not there in Bahrain at present.
Just announce that Ambassador has got another meeting, so he will be leaving.
Okay, dear all, in between, I just would like to intervene. Sorry, sir, Madhavan sir, because His Excellency has got another engagement. He is having another official meeting. He is just leaving our session. Thanks a lot for your wonderful presence, sir. Dear all, please put your hands together for the wonderful presence of our His Excellency, the Ambassador of India to the Kingdom of Bahrain, Sri Piyush Srivastav. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks. Over to Madhavan, sir.
Okay, Vinod, coming to your question from Mr. Ramesh. His question was, is there no indemnity in Bahrain? There is indemnity in Bahrain for the number of years you have served in a company.
Sir, shall I intervene? Because he is asking that after he already has filed a case. After so many hearings, they reached a judgment where he will be getting the settlement from 2015 only, as I have changed the company. In fact, it is the same group of company only.
No, it's of no use being in the same group of companies when there is a change of employment from one company to the other. Unless there is a contract, which is entered into by the new company with the employee, saying that we will pay the old indemnity, then it will not be possible to claim that. Okay. So in this case, I don't know whether there was a contract like that. If there is a contract, then there's no reason why it should not be considered. The court will definitely consider it if there was a contract. Since he has been granted only the 5 years indemnity, it looks like the contract was not there.
Okay. Thanks, Madhavan sir. Dear Ramesh, I hope that you are listening to us and you heard the answer given by Madhavan sir. If you have further clarifications or any questions regarding the same issue, you can just send another query also in the WhatsApp group or in the Zoom session. Dear all, we have another question from Mr. Mohana Sundaram. Okay. He's just asking, I have a legal issue and I am stuck here for 13 years. Please, I just would like to get a solution to go back to India.
We would like to know what exactly the legal issue. Many cases we know there are travel bans, and this is one point which His Excellency mentioned during his introduction. What happens is people sign papers, sometimes blank papers, sometimes writing the amount and signing the paper, and many of the time they don't know what they're signing. There have been instances where they signed a paper before the notary saying that he owes certain amount of money to the company. And then later on, when he wants to leave, the company files a case against him. So, or he leaves the company and without permission and he goes and works somewhere else. Then the company files a case against him and imposes a travel ban. If there is a amount due from a person to somebody and there is a evidence to show that there is an amount due, unless he pays the money, there is no way he can get the travel ban removed. And that's one thing which we should educate all the people. I tell all the volunteers who are working on this, all the social workers, and we keep talking about it and we keep writing in the newspapers that whenever you are signing a paper, understand what you're signing. If you don't understand, ask somebody. But most of the people don't do it, and they come to us when they are in trouble. It's too late.
Mr. Mohanasundaram, your case is not complete because we require more details from you to understand your situation, what problem you are in. Okay, so please let us know the real things behind, so that I think our advocates can help you in the matter which you have mentioned, because it's a general thing, 13 years stuck and what to do. So what the reasons behind it, we just would like to know. Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Over to our Spandana.
Thank you, Mr. Vinod. Advocate Madhavanji, I have a case like I recently came across. It's about the indemnity as well, as we are talking it, a relevant topic. So this is what happened. The employee, she after a 4-month maternity leave, she joined the company back. On the first day, she was given a termination letter stating redundancy termination, but she's not sure whether it's a real redundancy or not, and they denied to pay her indemnity as well. So this is what they said. I mean, she was given an opportunity to get all the facilities and benefits, whatever, but this alone, indemnity alone, was denied. And she had no clue why it was given that way. And everything, like if she wanted to go ahead and ask what the reason was or what's happening around, she was denied, and the access to every, like even to her colleagues, was denied. So what, yeah.
Go for a break.
Ms. Spandana, before our Madhavan sir go ahead to dealing with the answer session, okay, we will have a short break. Thank you.
Classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 33856330 or 33542530.
all your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain. At 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
Dear all, we just faced a technical issue in our Zoom session. That's why we got disconnected. Now it is resumed back. Over to Madhavan sir. Sir, please.
Thank you, Vinod. Spandana, to answer your question, one thing I didn't understand, how she got 4 months maternity leave. Maternity leave is only 2 months.
That's actually, 2 months plus she took her annual leave as well. So
Okay.
that counted.
Okay, that's fine. Now, termination has to have a reason. The going on leave cannot be that reason. There should be justifiable reason, they say. If the reason is not justified, the employee can claim compensation. And if there is no reason why indemnity should not be paid, irrespective of the reason for resignation, that is given under the law. It's a right under the law. The person has to get it for the period the person has worked. That cannot be denied. Now, they may make an issue about the compensation. The compensation, many companies don't give. In such cases, if it is not for a justifiable reason, the person can go to court and get the compensation. That's the correct way of claiming it.
Thank you, Madhavanji.
Thank you. Dear all, we have a wonderful personality present in our session. Okay, he is none other than the Second Secretary of the Embassy of India, Sri Ravi Shankar Shukla. Dear Shukla ji, can you please address the audience? Hello. I hope I am audible to you all. I think Shuklaji is not there in the session. I think he will join back after some time. Let's move ahead with another question. Okay. Dear sir, let me ask a general question, okay? If a person just gives a resignation after the period of 1 month, can he or her go and work with another company without cancelling the present visa? Is it possible?
The simple, straightforward answer is no. Okay. And this is what people do. They think that once they give a resignation, they can go and work anywhere. they cannot go and work anywhere without having a visa in that company. And for that, it is not necessary to cancel this visa. There is a provision for mobility, but that you will not get until you complete a period of 1 year with the company. You have to complete 1 year service, then only you can get a mobility, unless the company allows you. Company can allow you anytime, even after working for 1 month. The company says we have no objection to your going. They can go online, give you online mobility, and you ask a new company to apply for the visa. You get it immediately. That is the best way of doing it. If that doesn't happen, you'll have to wait for 1 year to submit the resignation and leave the job without the permission of the company.
Thank you, Madhavan sir. Any questions from you?
Yeah, from laborers section. So a common question is that, a common dilemma is that if a worker had been stayed for very long and they don't have a CPR, no visa, nothing of any identity that allows them to stay in Bahrain. So what can they do in such cases?
If you are asking about the claim, if he doesn't have a valid visa, for the period he has worked without a valid visa, he won't get any compensation through the court. That is the current position taken by the court. You, as every worker, has to ensure that he continues working only if he has got a valid visa. It is the responsibility of the employer to renew the visa, but currently the responsibility is partially passed on to the employee, because the law says you are not allowed to work without a visa and you are not allowed to employ someone without a visa. So there's a responsibility on both. So the employee cannot say that I didn't know I had a visa, I didn't have a visa. You have to find out, you have to ensure that the visa is valid if you're working. Otherwise, you don't get the money for the period when you worked without a valid visa.
In case of maids, we've come across so many cases that they've come out of the original owner's house and then they start working out on their own. And in such cases as well, they don't have a CPR, they don't have a passport, because it must have been held with either the agency or the sponsor. So in that case, they're unaware where their belongings or ID would be. So what can we do for them?
Now, ID you can always get a duplicate. Even passport you can get a new passport.
You mean from the national in India?
Yeah, if it's an Indian, you can go approach you'll lodge a police complaint and then get a report from the immigration that nobody has traveled on that passport. On that basis, the embassy will issue a passport. That's not a problem. ID card is also not an issue. That can be obtained. But for all these, you need the cooperation of the sponsor.
In case they don't have a contact with sponsor at all.
That's a problem. If you're working without knowing who is your sponsor, you're working with somebody, you are lucky if you get the money, the salary regularly. If you don't get, you have no legal means to recover it.
What are the legal charges they can, do you think they can come under legal, they'll be put under legal actions like get into jail, serve for some kind of period for not having visa kind of a thing?
Yes, if they are arrested, they will be put in jail, they will be deported.
In case they want to go home and after say 10 years or 13 years of being here and they approach the police, what would happen to them?
See, usually a person who doesn't have a valid visa usually used to get arrested, but because of the pandemic there has been a little bit of relaxation in that, but that's not a legally you cannot expect that. If the person gets arrested, he gets arrested, then he or she will be deported. Maybe after a short time, for the processing the papers and all that, they will take some time and they will be deported.
Great, thank you so much for that answer.
Thank you, sir. Now we have a question from a mother of twins. Okay, she's just asking this doubt. Her husband is working in a reputed company, but he is not supporting the family. She's not here. She is back in, I think, India. Okay, so she has already approached the company for helping her because the husband is not sending money, not supporting the family. But the company is telling that it's only a domestic matter. Okay, you do have to deal with it. Is there any legal side which will give her some assistance to solve this issue?
Yes, there is. What the company is saying is right, because company cannot intervene in that. On legally,
yes.
On moral grounds, they may do that, okay, on compassionate grounds. But otherwise, the remedy for her is to approach the court and get maintenance for the children, and especially since the children are here, and then they are under the sponsorship of the.
No. Children are,
or
all
also,
of them are back in India.
Okay, so, and naturally she has to claim it through the court.
Okay.
There's no other way.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our dignitary, the second secretary of the Embassy of India, Sri Ravi Shankar Shukla, he is back in the Zoom session. Hearty welcome, sir, once again. Sir, I just invite you to address the audience over here. Sir.
Good evening, all of you. And let me congratulate PLC for organizing such a wonderful event. This will be really informative session for those who are not aware of the rules and regulation here. I think much has been already addressed by our Honorable Ambassador, sir. I don't want to add more because it was comprehensive address by him. So just to conclude, I would congratulate all of you for organizing such a wonderful event. It will be very useful for our community and workers group. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sri Ravi Shankar Shukla. Thanks for your wonderful words. Thanks, sir, for supporting us.
Good evening, all. I got a question, Advocate. See, there are many people are coming on a visit visa, and maybe their passport will be expiring immediately. Is there any provision to renew the passport at Bahrain by the embassy? Shuklaji, I hope you can also answer the question. Many people are coming here on a visit visa and they are asking for renewal of the passport. If they are on a visit visa, will the embassy will allow to do a renewal to get a new job or anything?
For our community members, embassy has been frequently come across such a situation when people are coming to our mission for getting this visa. Actually, I would like to especially mention here the person who is on visit visa to any country, they are under the jurisdiction of the country from which they start. I mean, say, if they have come from India, so the jurisdiction is India, not in Bahrain. The person who is on visit visa, their passport can only be issued in case of exigency. For example, if someone lost passport, in that case we can do. So the person in India also, if someone goes to India for tourist visa, they are supposed to return to country of the origin. Same thing here applies also. But in specific cases, if someone is in position to have the work permit, in that case we can consider with the approval of competent authority. So main thing is that on visit visa, generally we are not in position to issue the renewal passport if there is no any exigency or emergency. This is what I do say.
So there is another question is that because many people are signing different agreements. I hope you also know about that issues. They are signing blank papers. Even they are going to notary and signing it without reading anything, and they are having a big travel ban or more than 12,000, 10,000 like that. So what is your advice in this case?
The only advice is that you should read and understand what you're signing. If you don't understand, don't sign it. Ask somebody and find out what the document says and what liability you are undertaking. Many times it may not be there, he may not be liable to pay anything. But some of the employers take the paper signed from him and then later on they use it against him. So the general advice to everybody is not to sign any paper. If you are not liable to pay anything, don't take up the liability. And even if you have a liability, then make sure that you're signing for the amount which you owe to that person. Nothing more than that.
So next is a general question. Many are having doubts as per the new law, LMR's new law. How is leave salary and indemnity calculated?
Leave salary and indemnity are being calculated on the basic salary. But I have always been of the view that it should be on the total salary because there are two conflicting provisions in the law. So until the Supreme Court, the Cassation Court in Bahrain decides that which is the correct position, the law remains uncertain. There has been judgment at the labor court, high court level, saying that it has to be paid only on the basic salary, and people have been following that.
Thank you, sir.
I have a question actually. It's a continuation with Sudhir's question. In case the visit visa, if in case extreme cases they are not able to go back to India due to any kind of conditions, for example, pandemic, otherwise the sickness, what happens then if their visa got expired? Maybe they got held up here for very long. Then what happens?
There is a heavy penalty when the visit visa expires and the person overstays. If it's a normal work visa and if it expires, the penalty is very nominal. But in the case of visit visa, the penalty is very heavy. There have been several cases where the special request has been made to immigration to consider some concession in the penalty, and then they have been allowed to go. But it cannot be a matter of routine. People have to leave the country before their visit visa expires unless they are able to extend it.
So irrespective of the situation and the age criteria, like senior citizens, somehow they got held up. So irrespective of everything, there is no loop.
If there is a pandemic and he has not been able to travel because there are no flights, maybe if a request is made to the immigration, they may consider it. It's at the discretion of the immigration, not as a law.
Right, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Sir, this is a question from many people are facing here regarding the surname issue. This question is for Advocate Joseph Ram sir and Advocate Madhavan Kalath and also Shuklaji. See, if the person has got only one name, because we are facing so many issues regarding that one. In the front page of the passport, there is only one name, and even they don't have any supporting documents. All the supporting documents are the same one name. So birth certificate is same one name. Even the Aadhaar card, if it is there, Aadhaar card also same one name. The school leaving certificate, everything is one name. So what is the provision to do from here? And if no, what can be done from Indian side? Can Advocate Joseph Abraham sir to reply from the side of India, how to approach for change of name or to add the surname?
Good evening. To change the name, the procedure and the rules applicable in India is that for the first instance, you need to execute an affidavit saying that your name is changed from this to that. Basis of that affidavit, a gazette publication is also required to be done along with a paper. Accidentally, if the surname is not mentioned, that's a different matter altogether. If two documents are different, and in passport, if the name is actually officially, if a change is required, then you need to follow this procedure. But otherwise, if it is a mistake in the passport, if it is mistakenly mentioned, then you need to get the passport reissued, stating that due to this name was actually mistakenly mentioned in the passport, but otherwise all other documents are similar. For that matter, the reissuance of passport may be required. But change of name, then this procedure is required to be done. That is what the rule followed in India, and the rest of the things, I think my learned friend may be in a better position to clarify.
Sir, can you?
Here in Bahrain, if you were to get the name changed, the authorities insist on two identity documents showing the name to which you want to change. Many people do not have that. That is the main issue, because like you said, all the document they have is only in one name. So the best solution would be to get the other identity documents changed in India, use that for changing the name here. Otherwise, it will be difficult with the current procedures. I don't think it allows issue of a passport based on, only on an affidavit in Bahrain. It's not possible.
Shuklaji, can you please explain the matter in Hindi if you can? And is there any other possible way to help from here? Because there are so many cases for such surname issues.
So I should speak Hindi. Okay, मैं हिंदी बोलूँगा. अभी जो एडवोकेट साहब ने बोला एकदम सही बोला है. सरनेम नेम चेंज है, कोई भी नेम चेंज होता है, you will have to give declaration in Gazette newspaper. As a advocate Joe Abraham has suggested, really it's not easy, but if you want to change the name, you have to give to Gazette notification. On that basis, you will have to find out 2 IDs and in the name which you want to get new passport. These are the only procedures. Otherwise, there is no other option.
Hope you can clarify in Malayalam and later to clarify in there some other languages, because now this is the main questions we received from many of the people. So I hope you can just clarify in Malayalam and some other languages about the issue, how they can carry out the matter from India and from Bahrain. I hope as per this clarification, the easiest way is to do from India. Please.
That's what we have been advising.
Spandana, you can start off. I will tell in Malayalam later.
Okay, sure. So, yeah. తెలుగులో ఫస్ట్ మనకి జనరల్గా ఒక్కొక్కసారి చాలామంది వస్తుంటారు ఎంబసీకి పాస్పోర్ట్లో ఒకే నేమ్ తోటి, కానీ మనకి ఒక సర్నేము ఒక ఒరిజినల్ నేమ్ ఉండాలి. 2 నేమ్స్ ఉంటే కానీ మీకు వీసా పడదని ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తున్నాయి. ఇది ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలంటే కొంతమందికి ఒక్క పేరు మాత్రమే ఉంటుంది, 2 పేర్లు అంటే సర్నేము గివెన్ నేమ్ అనే దగ్గర పాస్పోర్ట్లో గివెన్ నేమ్ మాత్రమే ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఇప్పుడు రాము అనుకోండి, మనకు కావాల్సింది శ్రీ రాము అంటే 2 పేర్లు ఉండాలి సర్నేమ్లో. ఇంటి పేరు ఒకటి, మన పేరు ఒకటి. ఇంటి పేరు లేని వాళ్ళు కొంతమంది చాలామంది వస్తుంటారు. అస్సలు ఏం చేయాలో అర్థం కాని పరిస్థితి. ఎందుకంటే ఒకటి మన ఆధార్ కార్డులో అయినా 2 పేర్లు ఉంటే కనీసం దాన్ని కన్సిడర్ చేస్తారు ఎంబసీలో. ఒకవేళ ఎక్కడా లేదనుకోండి, ఒకే పేరు ఉందనుకోండి, రాము అనే పేరు మాత్రమే ఉందనుకోండి, అప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే ఇండియాలో మనకి ఏ పేరు కావాలో ఆ పేరు మీద ఒక ఆధార్ కార్డు చేయించి దాన్ని అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్లో ఇవ్వాలి. ఎలా అంటే నా పేరు ఇప్పుడు రాము నుంచి శ్రీరాము, సర్నేమ్ అంటే ఇంటి పేరు శ్రీరాము అంటే నా పేరు రాము అని మార్చుకుంటున్నానని ఇండియాలో మన న్యూస్ పేపర్ అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్ ఇవ్వాలి. ఆ న్యూస్ పేపర్ అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్ని ఇక్కడ ఎంబసీలో ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసి ఇక్కడ బహ్రెయిన్లో కూడా నేను ఇలా పేరు మార్చుకుంటున్నాను అనే అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్ ఒకటి ఇవ్వాలి. ఈ 2 న్యూస్ పేపర్లని మనం ఎంబసీకి వెళ్ళి తీసుకెళ్ళామంటే అక్కడ మనకి పాస్పోర్ట్లో కొత్త పేరు వచ్చే ఛాన్సెస్ ఎక్కువ అనమాట. ఇది ప్రొసీజర్. அதே தமிழில் అయితే நம்மளுக்கு நிறைய தடவை வந்து 2 பேர் வேணும் அப்படின்னா சர்நேம், ஒன்று வந்து கிவன் நேம் நம்ம ஒரிஜினல் பேர், அப்புறம் இன்னொன்று சர்நேம்னு பாஸ்போர்ட்டில் 2 வகை இருக்குங்க. அந்த வகையை வந்து சில பேருக்கு வந்து வெறும் பேர் மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும், சர்நேம் இடத்துல வந்து காலியாக இருக்கும். இப்போ வீசா அடிக்கணும்னா அது ஒரு பெரிய ப்ராப்ளமாக ஆகிட்டுருக்கு. அதுக்கு நம்ம என்ன செய்யணும்னா இந்தியாவில் வந்து நியூஸ் பேப்பரில் ஒரு ஆட் கொடுக்கணும், அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட் கொடுக்கணும். எப்படின்னா என்னோட பேர் சப்போஸ் ராமு அப்படின்னு ஒரு பேர் இருந்ததுன்னா, சிங்கிள் நேம் மட்டும் இருந்ததுன்னா அது வந்து நம்ம இந்தியாவில் தமிழ்நாட்டில் எங்கேயாவது ரீஜனலில் வந்து நம்ம ஒரு அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட் கொடுக்கணும். ராமுலேருந்து என்னோட பேர் வந்து சர்நேம் ஸ்ரீ கிவன் நேம் ராமு அப்படின்னு 2 பேர். உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஒருவேளை உங்களுக்கு வீட்டு பேர் இருந்ததுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், அந்த வீட்டு பேரையே நீங்கள் வந்து அப்பா பேரோ யாரோட பேராவது நீங்கள் ஆட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். உங்கள் அப்பா பேர் அங்கே இல்லைன்னா உங்கள் அப்பா பேர் ஆட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஐயப்பன் ராமு அப்படின்னு 2 பேர் ஒரு அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட்டில் கொடுத்துட்டு அந்த நியூஸ் பேப்பரை இங்கே வர வச்சுட்டு அப்புறம் இங்கேயும் ஒரு நியூஸ் பேப்பர் லோக்கலில் வந்து அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட் கொடுக்கணும். நீங்கள் என்னோட பேர் வந்து ராமுலேருந்து ஐயப்பன் ராமு, சர்நேம் ஐயப்பன், கிவன் நேம் ராமு அப்படின்னு தெளிவாக வந்து அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட் கொடுத்துட்டு இந்த 2 நியூஸ் பேப்பரையும் எம்பசிக்கு கூட்டிகிட்டு போயிட்டிங்கன்னா எடுத்துகிட்டு போனீங்கன்னா அவங்க வந்து நம்மளுக்கு பாஸ்போர்ட் செஞ்சு தந்துடுவாங்க. இதுதான் ப்ரொசீஜர். ஒரே ஒரு பேர் இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு இதுதான் ப்ரொசீஜர். ஒரு அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட்டு, அதுக்கப்புறம் அது இந்தியாவில் ரீஜனல் உங்கள் நாட்டில் ஒரு அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட்டு, அப்புறம் பஹ்ரைன் லோக்கல் பேப்பரில் ஒரு அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட், இந்த 2த்தையும் எடுத்துகிட்டு போனீங்கன்னா பாஸ்போர்ட் வந்து கையில் கிடச்சிடும். कभी कभी आता मतलब बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं, जैसे एक नाम मतलब गिवन पासपोर्ट में सिर्फ एक ही नाम होता है, लेकिन वीज़ा के लिए हमको 2 नाम चाहिए, मतलब सरनेम और गिवन नेम. तो जो लोगों को जिस लोगों का पासपोर्ट में सिर्फ गिवन नेम है और सरनेम खाली होता है, उन लोगों के लिए ये कर सकते हैं आप कि आप एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट इंडिया में जहाँ से आप हो, जो भी स्टेट से आप हो, वहाँ एक लोकल इंग्लिश में होना चाहिए. तो उसमें एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट दे सकते हैं. एक फॉर्मेट है एम्बेसी में, आप वहाँ जाके वो फॉर्मेट लेके आ सकते हैं और उसी फॉर्मेट में आप एडवर्टाइजमेंट भी दे सकते हैं. उसमें ऐसा लिखता है जैसे मतलब आपका सरनेम होता है, आपका जनरली पासपोर्ट में जैसा दूसरा नाम है रामू है, सिर्फ रामू है, तो आपको एडवर्टाइजमेंट ये देना पड़ता है फॉर्मेट में, मेरा पुराना नाम रामू है, अब मेरा नाम सरनेम के साथ सपोज कुछ आपके बाबू का नाम या फिर कुछ भी नाम जुड़ सकता है, श्री फॉर एग्जांपल श्री हो सकता है, श्री सरनेम में होता है और रामू गिवन नेम में होता है, ठीक है। ऐसे आपको एडवर्टाइजमेंट आपके स्टेट में जो जहाँ से आप हो वहाँ एक लोकल न्यूज़पेपर में इंग्लिश में होना चाहिए एडवर्टाइजमेंट। वो एडवर्टाइजमेंट यहाँ लेके आने के बाद यहाँ भी लोकल पेपर में एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट देना चाहिए, जैसे फॉर्मेट होता है एम्बेसी में आपको मिलता है वैसे ही आपको एडवर्टाइजमेंट लिखना है, मेरा नाम रामू से श्री रामू, मतलब सरनेम श्री है, रामू गिवन नेम है, ऐसा करके आपको एडवर्टाइजमेंट दोनों पेपर मतलब इंडिया का और यहाँ का भी लेके एम्बेसी जाना है। वहाँ आपको सब कुछ मतलब पासपोर्ट को जो भी है नया पासपोर्ट को बनाना है वो सब कर सकते हैं। थैंक यू।
Something I want to add here. After gadget notification, they will have to give 2 IDs. After gadget notification, they will have to prepare 2 IDs in same name. Because gadget notification is the process of changing the name. It means if you want to change the name, you have done the gadget notification, then you should apply for Aadhaar card, PAN card, whatever it is, in the new name which you want to have the new passport. Then it's okay. Then it's complete.
താങ്ക് യു ശുക്ലാജി ഫോർ ദ ക്ലാരിഫിക്കേഷൻ. മലയാളത്തിൽ ഈ കാര്യത്തെപ്പറ്റി നന്നായിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കുന്നതിന് മാധവൻ സാർ തന്നെയുണ്ട്. മാധവൻ സാറിന് തന്നെ ഈ കാര്യം വളരെ നന്നായിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ മലയാളി പ്രേക്ഷകർക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കാൻ സാധിക്കും. സർ പ്ലീസ്.
പാസ്പോർട്ടിൽ 2 പേര് ഇവിടെ വിസ അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാൻ ആവശ്യമാണ്. അത് ഒരു പേര് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളെങ്കിൽ രണ്ടാമത്തെ പേര് പാസ്പോർട്ടിൽ കൂട്ടിച്ചേർക്കാൻ ബഹ്റൈനിലെ പ്രൊസീജിയർ എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ നാട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് 2 ഐഡൻറ്റിറ്റി വേണം ആ പുതിയ പേരെന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അതിലുള്ളതിൽ. അപ്പോൾ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് അങ്ങനെ നാട്ടിലങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഐഡൻറ്റിഫിക്കേഷൻ കാർഡ് ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് ആദ്യമായിട്ട് അവിടെ ഉണ്ടാക്കുക, എന്നിട്ട് അത് വെച്ച് പിന്നെ സ്പന്ദന പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ പരസ്യം കൊടുത്ത് നാട്ടിലും ഇവിടെയും പരസ്യം കൊടുത്ത് ഈ ഐഡൻറ്റിറ്റി കാർഡും വെച്ചിട്ട് നാട്ടിൽ നിന്നുള്ള 2 ഐഡൻറ്റിറ്റി കാർഡ് പുതിയ പേരുള്ളത് വെച്ചിട്ട് എംബസിയിൽ അപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ കൊടുത്താൽ പുതിയ പാസ്പോർട്ട് അവർ ഈ 2 പേര് വെച്ചിട്ട് ഇഷ്യൂ ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്.
Thank you, Madhavan sir. Now we got a question from a person. I think that there is some seriousness in that. We can think about it also. See, currently the employers are holding the indemnity amount. There is a suggestion which came. Is it possible for the LMRA to have a separate account for the employee, or the Indian embassy having a separate account for this employee to collect this particular indemnity over there in these accounts and give him once he or she leaves the kingdom? Is it possible? Is there any approaches which will help to have such a system? Because some employers are holding this indemnity amount back. Many legal issues arise later. They all have to go behind it, and some people that time will leave the kingdom and go back to their home country. So, Madhavan sir, is there any possibility over there? And I just request our Shuklaji also to give some clarifications regarding this. Thank you.
As of now, there is no law in Bahrain by which an employer is required to transfer the money to an independent agency like the LMRA won't hold that. It will be with the social insurance organization, if at all. That is a wonderful suggestion. If you can do that, it will be great, because it will be, what happens is a person works for several years and the company may not have enough liquidity to pay the amount after several years of service. So if a law can be brought, if a representation can be made for bringing a law to transfer the funds to the social insurance organization, the indemnity will be periodically paid to the social insurance organization, there's a GOSI, and then they can keep it and disburse it when the employee leaves. That will be a big relief for the employees. It's a wonderful suggestion. If you can get it implemented, there's nothing like it.
Dear Shuklaji, from the embassy side, is there any possibility regarding the same?
I think in this context, I would like to consult our Colonel lawyers, because I am not expert in this field. So this I will have to seek their guidance.
I have a general question actually. This has been bugging me for very long, dealing with the laborers. So I think it goes to both Advocate Madhavanji plus Advocate Jose as well. So this is what I was thinking. Like we have some, we can say victims or, who got fooled or something like that. We cannot give a name. But what happens is that they come here through agents or someone stating that they have been offered one kind of a job, and when they arrive here they'll be surprised that they were not given the same job or something lower to it. So they wouldn't want to be here and work further, and in such cases they're not allowed to go back home. And some cases are where like they don't speak the language just other than their regional language, and they were on roads in some cases, without food, not knowing what to do. So in such cases, what do you think we can do? Should it be dealt from here? Like now we have an option and awareness that we are creating for people who are here. What about people who are freshly coming from there? How should it be dealt? Like, should it be coming from India or here?
Now, there is a law in Bahrain. If you have been selected for a particular job, you are required to do that job. Because in the visa, your job category is mentioned. If that has to be changed, you have to take the LMRA approval. What happens today is, now though the employment contract says something, the visa is taken with some other category of profession. And these people are not, they don't look at it, many of them are not aware of it. There are instances when the employment contract is changed as soon as the person comes here. You are offered say 150 dinars in India. When he comes here, he gets an employment contract saying 80 dinars or 90 dinars. So these kind of what do you call, like you said,
misguided?
Misguided information, and then it's many people are involved, maybe the recruiting agents and the middlemen. Lot of people are involved in it, which is unfair to the workers. The awareness program which we have to create, that has to be both pre-departure and post-arrival orientation. They should know what are their rights, what they are entitled to, and what they can expect. And all these things should come under that category. If there is a replacement of the contract, that has to be fought. The problem is, if you have spent a lot of money for getting a visa and you come here, then you have to, it's easy for us to say you go and fight the case in the court. But if he goes to fight the case in the court, he loses his job. Where does he go? And how does he repay the money which he has paid in India? So that's a big issue. So these are the things, constraints coming in the way of making the claim against such unfair and illegal practices.
But it looks like very large considering India, like from different states we are having. So where do you think we can start it to? You think it's impossible?
Not impossible. It is possible, but we have to have a compulsory system that everybody who is leaving the country should have an orientation program, and we should have a machinery for that. That has to be done by the government. And today what is happening is, even if you have e-migrate, His Excellency mentioned about that. How many people, particularly at the lower level, really use e-migrate? They find a way to overcome or sidetrack it. And then they think that they're doing something great, but they don't know that they're landing in trouble and they have no support if they come without a e-migrate. So these are things, And I know I have seen a passport of a woman who claims to be 32. That girl doesn't look a month older than 18, because to be a housemaid, your age has to be 30 plus. So they made a passport. The passport has been issued in the country, and they have come on their passport. These are the things which is happening.
Thank you, Madhavanji.
Thank you. Now over to Sudhirji.
Shuklati, this question is for you. We received a message that is regarding PBY scheme unable to claim. Some persons in abroad facing legal issues in Kuwait and Bahrain and UAE. These persons unable to pay for legal charges, how shall we know their case status and support for them? It's Bahrain, one Sayam Naveen. Bahrain personal number is already given, and Madad grievance also is given. I send you a personal message regarding the same thing. Can you please look into this matter?
I will check this thing. I will check and then I can do. I was not able to tell anything because I have to check this thing. What is the exact position? What is the problem?
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Before Shukla ji come back with the answer for that, I just would like to ask another question to Madhavan sir. So this question is from people who are working in the hotel apartment field. Okay, so during the tourism department inspections, they are fined with the BD 10,000, something like that, some huge amount. But actually they didn't sign any documents or anything at all. So in this particular case, what are they supposed to do? What legal help they will get? Where they have to approach for certain helps?
They have been fined for non-compliance with the tourism regulations. There are certain monthly returns to be filed with the tourism and payments to be made to the tourism directorate in respect of the hospitality sector. So the person who is responsible, he doesn't have to sign any paper. He's working there in that position. He's responsible. So if he doesn't comply, the company may be penalized separately, but the person responsible is also fined. 10,000 dinars is the minimum fine in such cases. I have seen several cases, and there have been cases where he has gone to the court against such decisions, and here the penalty has been reversed. He has not been charged the penalty. But then you should have a sufficient ground to prove that you are not in the wrong. If you are wrong, then you cannot say that I'm not liable to pay the penalty. You have a responsibility. You have to fulfill that. If you don't fulfill, then you are penalized. That's the law.
Thank you, Madhavanji. I think the matter is much clear now. I think they understood it very well. നമുക്ക് ഒരു മലയാളി സുഹൃത്ത് ഒരു ചോദ്യം ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ബഹ്റൈനിലെ ലേബർ നിയമപ്രകാരം ഒരു പ്രവാസിക്ക് 1 വർഷം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 2 വർഷം കൂടുമ്പോൾ നാട്ടിൽ പോകാൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും നിയമം ഒരു ഇതായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് LMRA അനുവദിക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ, അതോ അത് കമ്പനി എഗ്രിമെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ടാണോ? നമുക്ക് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് LMRAയിൽ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു നിയമമുണ്ടോ? നമുക്ക് 1 വർഷം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പീരീഡ് ഓഫ് ടൈം കഴിയുമ്പോൾ നാട്ടിലേക്ക് പോകാനുള്ള എയർ ടിക്കറ്റ് എംപ്ലോയർ പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നത്.
ലേബർ നിയമത്തിൽ ലീവ് കൊടുക്കണമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. LMRA നിയമത്തിലോ ലേബർ നിയമത്തിലോ നാട്ടിൽ പോയിട്ട് വരാൻ ടിക്കറ്റ് കൊടുക്കണമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല. അത് കോൺട്രാക്ട് പ്രകാരമാണ്. പക്ഷേ ജോലി വിട്ടു പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അതിനുള്ള ടിക്കറ്റ് കൊടുക്കാൻ കമ്പനി ബാധ്യസ്ഥരാണ്. പക്ഷേ നാട്ടിൽ പോയിട്ട് വരാൻ ടിക്കറ്റ് കൊടുക്കാൻ നിയമമില്ല. അത് കോൺട്രാക്ട് പ്രകാരമാണ് നടക്കുന്നത്.
കോൺട്രാക്റ്റിൽ അത് സൈൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കൃത്യമായിട്ട് അത് നമുക്ക് അവകാശമായിട്ട് വരും.
അത് കിട്ടിയില്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് കോടതിയിൽ ക്ലെയിം ചെയ്യാം. ഈ കോടതിയിൽ ക്ലെയിം ചെയ്യുന്ന കാര്യം നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെയാണ്. കോടതിയിൽ ക്ലെയിം ചെയ്താൽ ചിലപ്പം ടിക്കറ്റ് കിട്ടിയെന്നിരിക്കും, പക്ഷെ ജോലി പോകും ചിലപ്പോൾ.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, this question is to Advocate Joseph Abraham, sir. Sir, many of the people has got some issues there in India. They are asking if they want to file a case or something like that. Because many of them, they doesn't know any advocates in India and what are the procedures in India. Will Pravasi Legal Cell can help them?
Yes, it's an important question. Many of our Pravasi friends are actually facing such a difficulty because they may be staying in a foreign country for a long. So issues like their property issues or family issues, in such scenario, the matter has to be fight out in courts in India because they are the one who is having proper jurisdiction. So since the people are working in a foreign country and the matter has to be dealt in India, so there has to be obviously some legal help is required. So for that matter, I would like to say that now in India, we have a law. We have a law specifically constituted for this purpose known as Legal Service Authorities Act. As per that, if you are eligible for getting free legal aid as per the Legal Service Authorities Act, definitely the government may provide advocates for the respective courts. The matter can be at different forums. It can be at civil court or criminal court or in the high court or in the Supreme Court, or it may be even in the consumer court. So there are any number of forums here. So depending upon that, you can get a lawyer under the Legal Service Authorities Act. And now Pravasi Legal Cell is also there now. We cannot give any individual legal assistance as such because filing a court case and such things, so many forums are actually there. So we may not be in a position to do that, but at least the legal advice that Legal Cell would be in a position to give legal advice to everyone. But for getting a lawyer, this Legal Service Authorities Act, that can be used. That is what the available best mechanism.
Sir, there is one more question came. It is related to India itself. A group of NRE Telugu community people invested in AP NRT Icon Tower. But after the government change, no progress to the project and our investment got stuck. Also, this was filed a case in AP High Court. How can we get justice?
Yes. This is also another area wherein lot of Pravasis, maybe irrespective of foreign countries, they are facing. Even if our people are settled in European countries or in America, large number of Pravasis are facing such an issue. They must have been booked a property here, but they are not getting that constructed property in time. NRIs are the worst sufferers. So for that matter, now in the year 2016, Parliament has enacted a specific law known as Real Estate Regulatory Authority Act. So as per that act, there is a judicial authority is also created. So in every state, now there is a specific authority is there. They are having judicial power. So you need to file a complaint over there, saying that this particular project was supposed to be handed over on so and so time, but we have not yet received. So that either you can get the money, whatever money you have spent, the money along with interest and compensation you can get back, or else if the builder say that within in such and such time they would be completing that project. So the point is, you can get justice. So RERA is the appropriate authority for filing a case. If you are approaching other forums, it may take a lot of time, lot of energy, lot of money also may be required. But please make use of this RERA. Lawyers are also not even required to file a matter in RERA. So Real Estate Regulatory Authority is the appropriate authority, sir.
Now this question to Madhavan sir. Sir, here, if an employee met worksite accident, okay, or a road accident, how can he get social insurance without his employer's involvement? Because in most of the cases, the employer or the companies are not supporting their demand, or they are not into it. So in such cases, what this employee can do?
The GOSI or the social insurance organization doesn't pay compensation for the road accidents unless it is a employment related accident. Otherwise, in such cases, in the motor accidents, the appropriate forum is the insurance company of the offending party. In the case of other claims, work related claims, there's no need to go to the employer. An employee can claim directly from the social insurance organization. There's a provision for that. But the only thing is, the person should be available here to follow up, or you should appoint a lawyer to do that. That's the issue. Many people are leaving the country and then they leave it to the employer. Many times, some of the employers do follow up and get the money, and some cases it may not be happening.
Is it possible for him to follow up through a third party with a document support?
It'll be difficult.
So of course he has to approach a lawyer for that.
That's the best thing to do.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Another question, sir. A person has an immigration fine, okay? Where he or she has to approach to know how much amount, and without any agent support, is it possible for him or her to pay by himself or?
Yes, the payment can be made by himself. Only thing is, you can check for the immigration itself. They will inform. Yeah, there is a provision, and there is, I think, online facilities available for checking that today. And then maybe Pravasi Legal Cell, they have got a network where they can help.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is not necessary to approach an agent at all?
No, not at all.
Okay.
And even there are agents who are doing it for very nominal fees.
Okay.
So there's no need to do that. But if you want to approach because he is not able to do it himself, there are agents who can help, and then that also even Pravasi Legal Cell will be able to recommend some people for that.
I think Sudhirji can help in this matter. Pravasi Legal Cell can just give a general guidance regarding this matter. I think everyone will be so happy.
This is regarding that visit visa. Many of them are being overstayed here. So some of them, they have got their own sponsors or the employers, they are given the visit visa. Some of them are taken by e-visa or something like that. So in such cases, if you don't have a employer or anything and you have got a genuine reason, please approach the embassy. Please approach the embassy, explain to them what is the matter, and definitely they will give a covering letter for you that this person has this problem, that is why he has been held up here, and definitely we can help them to clear the immigration for that one by paying the fine. Very clearly will inform you that visit visa, the fine must be paid. It depends upon the fine. I mean, the per month the fine will be there. So if anybody is illegally staying, immediately approach the embassy and mention what was the issue happened to them, because each day it will be charged. So instead of going for a long stay here, trying some other way to change the visa or something like that, instead of going that one, if you have got a genuine reason, please approach the embassy and tell them what is this one. Shuklaji, I hope you can guide in this case also.
You are right, you are right. We are doing this. In such cases, we are giving the letter to immigration to facilitate their regularized stay. So we are doing this.
I have got one question for Advocate Madhavan Kilat and Shuklaji. Some of the people lost the passport. Many of them doesn't know how to file a complaint, or they are either been approaching to the embassy. The passport was been lost many months ago, and some of them are recently. If the person is ready to leave the country, I hope the embassy can issue an outpass. But if the person has got a job ready
Recording
here,
in progress.
if he has got a job ready here and the facilities and the employer is ready to give the license and copy, CPR copy, official letter and all. So, Madhavan sir, please tell, and Shuklaji kindly inform what is the procedure for the outpass.
For outpass, if someone has lost the passport, as you just now said, first of all, he will have to go to police complaint, carry reports, and I mean to say, check from immigration whether the passport has been misused or not. On that basis, we will issue him duplicate, I mean say, renew passport, or if you want to go back to India, we can issue him EC, depending upon his requirement. So this main thing is that he will have to complete the loss of passport, and then he can come to embassy.
Explain to the audience how to file a complaint at the police station. I think you can either translate both languages, because this is a common question coming from different people, how to approach. And so some of them that, they want to go and file a complaint. Even LMRA tell them to go and complain. But some other people are telling, no, you don't go to the police station, they will be caught you.
That possibility is there. If he has been staying illegally here for some time, there is a possibility that he may get arrested. But he has no other way, whether it is an outpass or a passport locally, he has to approach the police station. And then if there is an employer who is willing to give him a visa, and usually there is a possibility that he may be released. Otherwise, of course, the rules say that he should be deported. And I don't think we can do anything about that. But police complaint is absolutely essential. And then you have to also get a certificate from the immigration on the basis of the police complaint that nobody has traveled on that passport. So once these two documents are available, then you can go to the embassy and request for a passport if it is for a change of job locally, or for outpass if he wants to leave the country.
So if his visa is expired, either he has to approach through a employer or through an advocate. Advocate has a facility to file a complaint, right?
Advocate can also file a complaint, yes. It's possible.
Yeah. Thank you. Can go for the question.
സി ഈ കാര്യത്തിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ വിസ ഇല്ല, ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ സ്റ്റക്കപ്പായി. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് പോലീസിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പോകാതെ നമുക്കൊരിക്കലും ഈ ഒരു ഇഷ്യൂ സോൾവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. പിന്നെ ഈ വിസ ഇല്ലാത്തത് കൊണ്ട് ചിലപ്പോൾ ഹെൽഡപ്പ് ആവാനും സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്, പോലീസ് ചിലപ്പോൾ പിടിച്ച് വെക്കാനും സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ഒരു വിസയുടെ ഓഫർ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ ഓഫറുമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ആ വിസയിലേക്ക് മാറാനുള്ള ഒരു അവസരം ഉണ്ടാകും. ഇല്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അഫ്കോഴ്സ് ഔട്ട് പാസിൽ നമുക്ക് ഇവിടുന്ന് രാജ്യം വിട്ട് പുറത്ത് നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലേക്ക് പോകേണ്ടി വരും എന്നതാണ് നമ്മുടെ മാധവൻ സാറ് പറഞ്ഞത് അല്ലേ.
പോലീസ് സ്റ്റേഷനിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഇനി ജോബ് ഓഫർ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും അത് അവരെ പിടിക്കില്ല എന്നുള്ള ഉറപ്പൊന്നും പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. കാരണം ഇല്ലീഗലായിട്ട് ഇവിടെ കുറേ കാലം താമസിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ the law requires that he should be arrested and deported.
So I think there is a new law also that if there is a illegal stay, they must be deported.
Yeah, that's it.
There is no way of changing the visa or something like that?
Okay, ഒരു പ്രധാന ഒരു ചോദ്യം, one question we received, a daughter from Tamil Nadu for her father. Okay, so father is working here in Bahrain for the last 25 years. Okay, the company didn't provide salary for him for the last 9 months. Okay, and service visa payment also pending. The company didn't do that. Okay, 2 weeks ago he had a problem that the company blamed a false accusation. They have raised a false accusation against him and refused to give the salary, and now they are telling him to leave the company. And he is 54 years old and they do not know what to do. In this aspect, what help from the advocates or from the Pravasi Legal Cell we can provide, sir? Please advise.
He is entitled to claim his dues. Even if there is an accusation against him, the law doesn't permit an employer not to pay the dues. The dues are to be paid. If there is an accusation against him that there's a criminal offense and it has been proved, then the only thing is they can terminate him without giving him a notice. Okay. So that's the only advantage. But there's no way you can get an exemption from paying the outstanding salaries or the indemnity, provided he had a valid visa.
Okay. Spandana, can you please explain the same thing in Tamil?
Yeah, sure. நம்மளுக்கு வந்து பொதுவாக வீசா தீர்ந்து போயிடுச்சுனாக்கா 3 விஷயம் இருக்குது இங்கே நம்ம ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கிறதுக்கு. ஒன்று, வீசா வந்து ரொம்ப நாள் இல்லை அப்படின்னாக்கா எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட்டும் இல்லை. இன்னொரு உங்கள் ஸ்பான்சர் வந்து இல்லை அப்படின்னாக்கா எத்தனை நாள் நீங்கள் இங்கே இருந்தீங்களோ அதுக்கு ஃபைன் கட்டணும், இல்லை உடனடியாக இந்தியாவுக்கு வந்து டிப்போர்ட் பண்ணிவிடுவாங்க. அது ஒன்று. எந்த ஒரு சப்போர்ட்டுமே இல்லை, ஸ்பான்சர் இல்லைன்னா இந்தியாவுக்கு கண்டிப்பாக போய் தான் ஆகணும். 2, ஒருவேளை ஸ்பான்சர் இருந்து வீசா கொடுக்குறோம் அப்படின்னாக்கா உங்களுக்கு வீசா கிடைக்கும், புது வீசா கிடைக்கும் அப்படின்னாக்கா அது வந்து 2 வகையில் டீல் பண்ணுவாங்க. இன்கேஸ் போலீஸ் வந்து ஒத்துக்கிட்டாங்கன்னா நம்ம வந்து புது வீசா அடிச்சுக்கிட்டு அவங்கள ரிலீஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்து போலீஸ் ஸ்டேஷன் கண்டிப்பாக போய் தான் ஆகணும். வீசா எத்தனை நாள் இல்லைன்னு இல்லை, ஏன்னா இல்லாததுனால நீங்கள் வந்து ஃபஸ்ட்டு போலீஸுக்கு தான் அப்ளை பண்ணணும். எங்கே போனாலும் உங்களுக்கு வந்து நியாயம் கிடைக்காது. ஃபஸ்ட்டு வீசா இல்லாதப்ப நீங்கள் போலீஸ் ஸ்டேஷனுக்கு போயிட்டு கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்ணுங்கள், இந்த மாதிரி வீசா இல்லை, பாஸ்போர்ட் இல்லை அப்படின்னு. இன்கேஸ் பாஸ்போர்ட் இருந்து வீசா இல்லைனாக்கா நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி ஸ்பான்சர் இருந்தாங்கனாக்கா உங்களுக்கு ஒரு சான்ஸ் இருக்குது வீசா வந்து புது வீசா அடிக்கிறதுக்கு. அப்படி இல்லைன்னா டிப்போர்ட். இன்னொரு கேஸ் வந்து பாஸ்போர்ட் இல்லை அப்படின்னாக்கா தொலைஞ்சிச்சுனாக்கா நீங்கள் வந்து கம்ப்ளைண்ட் கொடுத்து தான் ஆகணும். சிஐடி ரிப்போர்ட் கம்ப்ளைண்ட் கொடுத்து தான் ஆகணும். அதுக்கு வந்து போலீஸ் ஸ்டேஷன் போய் தான் ஆகணும். அவங்க நம்மளை பிடிச்சிடுவாங்க, ஜெயிலில் போட்டுருவாங்கன்னா அது சகஜம், கண்டிப்பாக அந்த மாதிரி நடந்து தான் ஆகும். ஆனால் நீங்கள் போயிட்டு கம்ப்ளைண்ட் கொடுக்க தான் செய்யணும். என்ன நடந்தால் வந்து நம்மளுக்கு வந்து டிப்போர்ட் ஆகிடுவோம் அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கு திரும்பி வரணுன்னா நீங்கள் மறுபடியும் அப்ளை பண்ணிட்டு வரலாம். அப்படி இல்லைன்னா நீங்கள் உங்களுக்கு சான்ஸ் இருந்தால், ஸ்பான்சர்ஷிப் சான்ஸ் இருந்தால் இங்கே வந்து நீங்கள் వీసా షిఫ్ట్ பண்ணிக்கலாம், అడిచిக்கலாம். మీకు ఎప్పుడైనా చాలాసార్లు మనకి వీసా అయిపోయింది అని భయంతో మనం పోలీస్ స్టేషన్కి వెళ్ళాం. కానీ వీసా లేకుండా ఎన్ని రోజులు ఒక్కొక్క గంట మీరు గడిపే ఒక్కొక్క రోజుకి ఫైన్ పడుతుంది. అందుకని ఖచ్చితంగా ఫస్ట్ పోలీస్ స్టేషన్కి వెళ్ళండి. వాళ్ళు పట్టుకుంటారా ఉంచుకుంటారా ఫస్ట్ వెళ్ళి కంప్లైంట్ చేయాల్సిందే. దానికి తగిన రెమెడీ ఇంకేది లేదు, వేరే ఇంకొక దారే లేదు. అందుకని ఫస్ట్ పోలీస్ స్టేషన్కి వెళ్ళండి, కంప్లైంట్ ఇవ్వండి. ఒకవేళ పాస్పోర్ట్ పోయిందంటే ఆ కంప్లైంట్ని తీసుకొచ్చి సిఐడి వాళ్ళ దగ్గర కంప్లైంట్ ఇస్తారు. ఆ లెటర్ తీసుకొచ్చి ఎంబసీలో సబ్మిట్ చేశారంటే మీకు ఒక కొత్త పాస్పోర్ట్ చేయడానికి చాలా ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. ఇది మళ్ళీ వీసా కానీ ఎక్స్పైర్ అయిపోయి మీకు వేరే దారి లేదు, స్పాన్సర్ లేరు, కొత్త వీసా కొట్టే వాళ్ళు ఎవరు లేరంటే మీరు పోలీస్ స్టేషన్కి వెళ్తే వాళ్ళు ఖచ్చితంగా మిమ్మల్ని ఇండియాకి పంపించేస్తారు, డిపోర్ట్ చేసేస్తారు. అలాంటి సమయంలో మీరు భయపడి ఇక్కడ ఉన్నారనుకోండి, ఫైన్ ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది. దాని బదులు మీరు ఇండియాకి వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ అప్లై చేసి రావచ్చు. అది కాకుండా మీకు ఒక ఒక స్పాన్సర్ అంటూ ఉన్నారు అనుకోండి, ఒకవేళ ఎవరైనా వీసా ఇవ్వడానికి ముందు వచ్చున్నారు, మీకు ఆల్రెడీ వెనకాల ఉన్నారు, జస్ట్ మీకు వెళ్ళి వీసా ఇలా లేదని చెప్పారంటే మీకు స్పాన్సర్షిప్ ఉంది అని వాళ్ళకి తెలిస్తే వీసా కొట్టించి ఇక్కడే ఉండే ఛాన్సెస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి.
Thank you, Spandana. Now the next question is to Advocate Joseph Abraham. See, some women after reaching home, their family members, brothers, they are not accepting to join home back. Okay, and they were holding their assets after serving long years in a foreign country. Okay, so in this case, what can the lady do? So where to approach? What legal help the lady will get? Advocate Joseph Abraham, sir, if you can kindly explain.
This is also a common issue faced by our NRI people. They may be in a foreign country for long years, and once they come back to their home country, their family may not accept. They won't get any share in their family property. All such things are there. So here, please note that everybody is entitled an equal share in their family property. That is what all the personal laws. In India, we have personal laws because we are having different religion. But almost all religion and the personal law says that everybody is entitled for an equal share in their family property. So if this particular person is not getting her due share in the family property, definitely she can approach the district court for a proper partition of the property so that she can get the family property. The question suggests that she is not even getting her assets. So if some other movable assets such as her valuable things are also holding by somebody, initially she can file a police complaint to that effect. Police can also help her to get the movable property, but the partition and all such things are concerned. She needs to approach the district court and they will pass a proper order for partition of the property, and definitely she is entitled her due share. Yes.
Now we have a question to our sir over here, Advocate Madhavan sir. Sir, a birth certificate issue. Okay, in all other documents the family is having, the father's name is correct, but the birth certificate of the daughter issued from Bahrain, father's name is different. So what to do in this case?
The only way is to go to court and get an order for rectifying the certificate.
In Bahrain?
In Bahrain.
Okay, directly they can approach the court. No advocate is required.
They can approach directly, but then it's always better to engage an advocate because the documents have to be filed in Arabic.
Okay.
And then it has to be submitted online. It will be, if he is capable of handling it, he can do it.
Okay.
But better to engage an advocate.
Thank you. Now, dear all, time has now wound up. See, it was an interactive segment. Many questions were clarified. Hope all of you had many questions which got clarified in this session. Now, in order to wind up this session and for the vote of thanks, let me welcome our Sudhir Tirunilath.
Before we wind up, I had to tell some common issues we are facing to the viewers. See, if you have got any issues related to the legal problems, we Pravasi Legal Cell is ready to help you at any time. If you are going to sign any documents without knowing what is this issue, you can even approach to the embassy and show or tell them that these people are ready, are forcing to us to sign a complaint. I mean the paper which I don't know what it is. So I hope everybody knows this one. I think our language Miss Sharmishta is there. Can you please explain that in Bangla language also?
Ms. Sharmishta, are you present online?
Sisu?
Yeah, you're
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, yes, of course, you can move ahead. Okay, go ahead, please.
বাঙালি দর্শকদের আমি জানাই যে আমরা প্রবাসী লিগ্যাল সেল তরফ থেকে স্বাগত জানাই। আর আমি এটা বলতে চাই যে এটা একটা ভালো প্ল্যাটফর্ম যেখানে সবাই আইন সংক্রান্ত যেসব প্রশ্ন থাকে সেগুলো তুলে ধরতে পারছে। আর সেটা আপনারা হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ করে জানাতে পারছেন, এটা একটা বিশাল হেল্পফুল। আর সুদীপ যা বললেন যে ওনারা চেষ্টা করছেন যে এই সমস্ত প্রবলেমস গুলো সলিউশন আপনাদের সামনে তুলে ধরার এটুকুই।
I would like to thank Advocate Madhavan Kallath, Advocate Joseph Abram sir, and also our BMC Director Mr. Francisca Idarat for arranging such a wonderful show, and our moderator Mr. Vinod Narayanan and Spandana, and all our PLC team is at the backside waiting and translating many questions to us, and thank you very much. And we will be coming back with our third session on next month. Thank you all for all your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sudhir. With this, we just would like to wind up this session. Hope all of you have understood the matters which were discussed over here. Meet you later after 2 months. Right, Mr. Sudhir? Next month, we will announce the date. We will be having another session where you can come forward with more doubts, questions, everything. Okay? So, have a wonderful night. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Vinod, please send that number. If any questions, they can send it.
Okay, of course. That I will. Dear all, before winding up, see, language is not a barrier. We have told you before, whatsoever your doubts, you can send it in any language you prefer. Kindly send your queries or doubts to these WhatsApp numbers. Okay, these WhatsApp numbers, please note down 38391000 or 39461746. Please send your doubts to these 2 WhatsApp numbers. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye. Take care.
మీకు ఎటువంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నా, ఎటువంటి లీగల్ ఇష్యూస్లో డౌట్స్ ఉన్నా, ఒక చిన్న కాగితం పేపర్, ఒక ప్లెయిన్ పేపర్ మీద, అంటే తెల్ల కాగితం మీద అస్సలు ఎటువంటి సంతకాలు పెట్టద్దు. ఎటువంటి చిన్న విషయానికైనా కానీ మీరు వాట్సాప్ చేయొచ్చు. నంబర్ రాసుకోండి 3833910000. आपको जो भी इश्यूज़ है, लीगल इश्यूज़ है, जो भी डाउट्स है, आप कभी भी आप कॉल कर सकते हैं. लैंग्वेज बैरियर नहीं है. जो भी लैंग्वेज आपको बोलना चाहते हो उसमें व्हाट्सअप कर सकते हैं. व्हाट्सअप नंबर ये है 38391000. உங்களுக்கு எந்த விதமான லீகல் சர்வீஸ் வேணும்னாலும், எந்த விதமான லீகல் இஷ்யூஸில் உங்களுக்கு தெளிவாக ஒரு ஆன்சர் கிடைக்கணும், சொல்யூஷன் வேணும், அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு சின்ன டவுட்டாக இருந்தாலும் எந்த டைமில் வேணாலும் நீங்கள் மெசேஜ் பண்ணலாம். எப்போ வேணாலும் எந்த லாங்குவேஜ் வேணாலும் மெசேஜ் பண்ணலாம். மெசேஜ் பண்ண வேண்டிய வாட்ஸ்அப் நம்பர் 38391000. Have a good night, everyone.
പ്രിയമുള്ളവരെ, ഇതുകൂടി നിങ്ങൾ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക. നാട്ടിലും പ്രവാസ ലോകത്തുമുള്ള നിങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാ നിയമപ്രശ്നങ്ങൾക്കും പരിഹാരമുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സമീപിക്കാവുന്ന വാട്സപ്പ് നമ്പേഴ്സ് ഇവയാണ്. ദയവ് ചെയ്ത് നിങ്ങളത് നോട്ട് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കുക. നിങ്ങൾക്കുള്ള എന്ത് ഡൗട്ടും ഒരു കഷ്ണം പേപ്പർ എടുത്ത് നിങ്ങളത് എഴുതി വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നീട് അടുത്ത സെഷനിൽ, ഈ പ്രവാസി ലീഗൽ സെല്ലിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത സെഷനിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ സംശയം ഉന്നയിക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. ഈ നമ്പേഴ്സ് നിങ്ങൾ ദയവ് ചെയ്ത് നോട്ട് ചെയ്യുക. 38391000 അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 39461746. ശുഭരാത്രി. ഗുഡ് നൈറ്റ്.